Right, so you want to know more about this whole workation thing, huh?
Yeah, it's definitely a buzzword these days.
It really is. But, like, what does it actually mean? Is it just like answering emails from a beach?
Well, it can be, but it's kind of more intentional than that. It's about actually integrating travel into your work life, not just trying to squeeze work into your vacation.
Right, so instead of just bringing your laptop on vacation, you're actually building your vacation around the fact that you can work remotely.
Exactly. It's a whole different mindset. And it comes with a unique set of benefits, too.
Like what? Give me the highlights. What's in it for me?
Well, think about it. Ever get that feeling of burnout, staring at the same four walls day after day?
Oh, tell me about it. It's like my creativity goes into hibernation.
Exactly. A workation can be the perfect antidote. Changing your physical environment can work wonders for your mental state, which can then boost your creativity and productivity.
So instead of another day at my desk, I could be brainstorming from a cafe in Paris.
See, now you're getting it. It's about fresh perspectives, new experiences, and breaking free from that rut.
Okay, that sounds amazing and all. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Money.
Hmm.
Isn't traveling, like, inherently expensive? How does that work if you're on a budget?
That's the thing. It doesn't have to be a budget buster. In fact, you might even save money depending on where you go.
Wait, really?
Absolutely. Imagine living in Lisbon for a month where the cost of living is significantly lower while still earning your current salary.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But it's not all about the money, right? What about the whole cultural immersion thing? I've always loved the idea of really experiencing a new place, not just being a tourist.
And that's one of the biggest perks. You're not just visiting, you're living it.
Hmm.
Maybe you pick up some of the local language, try new foods, discover hidden gems. It's a whole different level of travel.
I do love trying new foods. Okay, this all sounds fantastic, but let's be real. Can you actually be productive when you're surrounded by, the temptations of a new city or like a beautiful beach?
It seems counterintuitive, but studies have actually shown that a change in environment can boost productivity.
Get out. Really?
Yep. Novelty sparks creativity. A new setting can help you break free from those old patterns and actually come up with fresh ideas.
So that feeling of being stuck in a rut could actually be helped by being in a new, exciting environment.
Precisely. Whether it's the energy of a bustling city or the tranquility of a remote mountain village, that change can do wonders for your work.
Fascinating. But it can't all be sunshine and productivity hacks, right?
Oh.
What are the challenges? There have to be some downsides.
Of course, there are always challenges. One of the big ones is maintaining those work-life boundaries when your office could be a beachside cafe one day and a co-working space the next.
Oh, yeah, I can see how that would get blurry fast.
Totally. It takes discipline.
Like, how do you even start to set those boundaries when you're in a completely new environment?
It's all about being proactive. Set specific work hours, just like you would at home.
Yeah.
Create a designated workspace, even if it's just a corner in your Airbnb. And most importantly, schedule in actual downtime, just for you.
So it's almost like you need to create a routine, but within the trip. That makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay, but what about the thing that gives every digital nomad nightmares? Wi-Fi.
Ugh, don't even get me started.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Can you really make this whole workation thing work if you're constantly battling a bad connection?
That's why research is key. Before you book anything, check resources like Nomad List. They rank destinations based on internet speed and reliability. And always have a backup plan, like a portable Wi-Fi hotspot.
Nomad list. Got it. You've calmed my internet anxieties for now.
Mm.
But there's another, maybe even scarier thing, visas and taxes.
Yeah, those are definitely important considerations, especially for longer stays.
Like, how do you even begin to navigate all of that? It seems so complicated.
It can be, but a little research goes a long way. Don't just assume you can work from anywhere with a tourist visa.
Right. Do your homework, people. Okay, so we've covered the practical stuff, but what about the social aspect? Isn't there a risk of feeling isolated when you're constantly on the move?
It's definitely something to be mindful of, but there are ways to combat that. Co-working spaces are great for meeting people, and don't be afraid to strike up conversations.
Even if it's just with locals.
Especially with locals. They often know the best hidden gems and can offer a unique perspective on the place you're visiting.
True, true. Okay, so it's about finding that balance between, like, putting yourself out there and also carving out that alone time.
Exactly. It's about finding what works for you and creating a workcation experience that truly aligns with your needs and goals.
So it seems like finding that balance is key, like figuring out how much social interaction you need to feel connected versus how much solo time you need to actually, like, recharge.
Absolutely. It's about knowing yourself and what you need to thrive, both personally and professionally.
Which probably ties into choosing the right destination, right? I mean, where do you even begin when it comes to picking a workation spot?
Right, because not all destinations are created equal, especially when it comes to workations.
Okay, so say I'm ready to pack my bags. What factors should I be considering?
Well, remember those non-negotiables? Time zones, internet reliability, cost of living. Those are still crucial.
Right, can't forget about those.
But beyond that, it's about aligning your work style and travel personality. Do you thrive in a bustling city with endless networking opportunities, or do you crave the peace of a remote mountain village where you can really disconnect and recharge?
So it's about finding a place that complements, not complicates, your work.
Exactly. Think about what kind of environment will inspire you, not distract you.
Okay, so I've found my perfect workation haven. Now, the big question, packing. Do I really need to bring my entire office setup? Asking for a friend who may or may not be an overpacker.
Ah, packing, the eternal struggle. But seriously, when it comes to workations, less is definitely more.
Music to my ears. But like, what are the absolute essentials?
Prioritize. A reliable laptop, noise-canceling headphones to block out those distractions, a good quality webcam for those all-important video calls.
Right, gotta look presentable even if you're rocking a beach bum vibe on the bottom.
Exactly. And never underestimate the power of a portable charger. You never know when you'll be caught without an
Ah,
outlet.
truth. Okay, so I've mastered the art of minimalist packing. I'm in my inspiring location. But how do I actually stay organized on the go? Like, how do you keep track of deadlines and projects when you're hopping from one amazing place to the next?
That's where technology really shines. Project management tools like Asana or Trello are lifesavers. They keep your tasks, deadlines, and communication all in one place, no matter where you are in the world.
Okay, so those are key. What about like important documents and files?
Cloud storage is your best friend. Keep everything easily accessible through services like Google Drive or Dropbox. It's like having your entire office at your fingertips wherever you go.
It's like having a virtual office that travels with you. So important. But let's talk about the, I don't know what to call it, the elephant on the beach. How do you actually disconnect when work is just a click away?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Because it's tempting. You're in this amazing new place, but then there's that little voice in your head saying, oh, but I could just finish this one email.
It takes a conscious effort to set boundaries and stick to them.
Easier said than done. Got any tips?
Try techniques like time boxing. Allocate specific blocks of time for work and leisure. When the work block is over, close the laptop, put away the phone, and be present in your downtime.
It's almost like you need to train your brain to switch gears, even if your surroundings are screaming vacation.
Mm.
Okay, so time boxing, boundaries, got it. But what about the social side? We touched on it earlier, but how do you actually combat loneliness and make those connections when you're constantly on the move?
You know, one of the best ways to combat isolation is actually built into the whole workcation culture. Co-working spaces.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere now, aren't they?
They're like magnets for digital nomads and remote workers. And they're not just about the Wi-Fi. They often host events, workshops, all sorts of things to bring people together.
So it's like a built-in community. You're instantly connected with people who understand the whole workation lifestyle.
Precisely. It's a great way to network, share experiences, maybe even find a travel buddy for your next adventure.
It's like those co-working spaces become your home away from home.
I love that.
Mm.
But it's not just about connecting with other remote workers, right? How do you really tap into the local scene, the culture?
That's where the real magic happens. It's about immersing yourself in the local culture, not just observing it from afar.
Give me some ideas. How do I do that?
Take a cooking class. Learn some basic phrases in the local language, maybe even volunteer for a local organization. These experiences will stay with you long after the tan lines have faded.
It's about creating memories, not just filling up your Instagram feed.
Exactly. Use this time to try new things, challenge yourself, and gain a fresh perspective. Love it. So we've covered choosing a destination, staying organized, managing boundaries, making connections. It seems like we've got this whole workation thing figured out.
Well, almost. There's one more thing we need to talk about. The unexpected.
Oh, what do you mean?
Even with the best laid plans, things happen. Flights get canceled, Wi-Fi goes down, you spill coffee on your laptop. Life happens.
And sometimes it happens at the most inconvenient times.
Exactly. So the real key to a successful workation is being adaptable and resilient.
Okay, so how do I channel my inner Zen master When my carefully crafted itinerary goes out the window, what happens when those unexpected hiccups pop up?
It's all about perspective, really. Instead of freaking out, try to see it as an adventure.
Okay, easier said than done when you're facing a tight deadline. So give me some practical tips. What do I do when those curveballs inevitably come my way?
First things first, don't panic. Take a deep breath, assess the situation. Can you work offline for a bit? Maybe use that unexpected downtime to explore your surroundings.
Ooh, I like that. Turn that frown upside down.
Exactly. Or, if it's something you need help with, reach out to your network. Remember those connections we talked about? They can be invaluable in a pinch.
That's like having a safety net, even when you're miles away from your usual support system.
Precisely. And sometimes those unplanned detours lead to the most memorable experiences.
There's that silver lining. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the benefits, the challenges, the logistics, even how to handle those inevitable curveballs. As we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from all of this?
It's easy to get caught up in the details, the visas, the Wi-Fi, the packing lists. But at its core, a successful workation is about mindset.
So it's not just about the where, it's about the how.
Exactly. It's about embracing a new way of working and living, one that prioritizes both productivity and personal fulfillment.
It's about finding that sweet spot where your work enhances your travels and your travels enhance your work.
I couldn't have said it better myself. It's about creating a lifestyle that's both fulfilling and sustainable.
It sounds like a workation is for anyone who's ever felt that pull between, wanderlust and ambition, that desire to chase your career goals without sacrificing your sense of adventure.
Absolutely. It's about designing a life that you don't need a vacation from.
I love that. So there you have it. Hopefully this deep dive has inspired you to start planning your own workation adventure. Remember, the world is your office. Until next time, happy travels.